Mobile gamers, welcome to the future. Version 1.5 has finally come out on mobile, and to help you get caught up, I thought I'd make a list of everything substantial that has been added to the game so that you can go out and experience them. I'll be saving anything involving the added new area that you can unlock after completing the community center for the end of the video, so that you can avoid spoilers on it. Without further ado, when you're making a new farm, you're going to have a couple of new options here. First of all, there's an entirely new farm, the beach farm. The beach farm is meant for more experienced players as you can't place sprinklers on the sand, which makes up most of your farming space. As upsides, you can find forageables in the grassy area, you can fish up ocean fish, and occasionally supply crates will wash up on the shore, often giving you very valuable items. There's also a few new settings that have been added to alter your experience. For example, you can add remixed community center bundles, which changes some of the bundles. Guarantee year one completable will guarantee that you get a red cabbage seed during the first year. You can change your profit margin to make the game a little bit harder, or put in a seed so that you can have a specific game. You can now move your bed around. Most people like to put it next to the door so that when they come in late at night, they don't pass out in their house. You can also now sit on chairs and many other things around the game. This of course can be used to skip a few things in the game, which I've showcased in other videos. If you have the space for it, the greenhouse is now one of the buildings that can be moved around on your farm. You can also paint your buildings specific colors. As you can see, it's how I got this blue, brown, and red color scheme for my buildings. Once you reach 4 hearts with the wizard, you can now go into his basement and find what I like to call the Shrine of Transgender. Here you can change the appearance of yourself and of your pet. Personally, I can't believe that I lived in a time before this item. The glowstone ring has been added. You can craft it starting from mining level 4, and it has the effect of both the glow ring and the magnet ring. Special orders have been added and will unlock during your first fall. Here you can do more complicated quests for characters that can give you some new exclusive items. I don't want to spoil any of them, just know that they're there. Lewis's house now has a lost and found box. Generally, if something could happen to your items that would make them lost forever, other than shipping them or throwing them away, you can now retrieve them here. Examples would be if you forget to take them out of the fair display, or if you donated items to a special order that ended up failing. Remember how you had to put down paths under your sprinkler to stop them from being hoed up? This is no longer the case. If you have a chest full of items that you want to move over, and there's just too many items to take them all out and put them back in, you can mash the interact button to move it over one space in any direction. In general, ducks are now a lot better. Their cost has been decreased from 2,000 gold to 600 gold, the price of duck feathers has doubled, and the drop rate of feathers has also increased. The mahogany seed has been introduced. You can find these by breaking the hardwood stumps that are in the secret woods, and you can use them to grow trees that will give you hardwood instead of regular wood. If you tap them, they just give you sap. Penny and the dwarf both now like all artifacts, so if you have some of them sitting around, you can use them there. There's now a shop at every single holiday. During the luau, they'll sell jungle decorations and just straight up starfruit. During the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies, there's a lot of decorations and seafoam pudding, the best food in the game for boosting your fishing level. The shop at the Festival of Ice, once again, sells a lot of Christmas decorations along with some food, and the Snowman Rarecrow, making it the only guaranteed spot to buy it. And then during the Feast of the Winter Star, there's just a bunch of decorations. Alright, from here on, we're going to be talking about Ginger Island, which is a joy to be experienced on your own. Just a warning. 3, 2, 1. A few days after you complete the community center or Joja membership, Willie will ask you to meet him in a letter. To prepare the boat to the island, you're going to need 200 hardwood, 5 iridium bars, and 5 battery packs to repair the boat. Also, be prepared to pay 1,000 gold for each trip. Your focus upon arrival to Ginger Island is going to be collecting as many golden walnuts as you can, as they'll be how you unlock all the areas and the features of the island. I have a full guide here if you have trouble finding any of them. On the island, you can find a new character to give gifts to, Leo. He loves duck feathers and mangoes. There's a new dungeon you can access on the island called the Volcano. As opposed to the other 2 dungeons, this dungeon has only 10 floors that change daily. So if you're on the same day, you leave and come back in, it'll be the same floors as before. A lot of the enemies here also have Slayer tasks, unlocking more rings and weapons and stuff like that. Once you reach the top of the volcano, you will find the forge. I do have a full forge guide, but to give you a basic overview, you can now upgrade your weapons using certain gems. Each gem will have a different stat increased on the weapon. For example, giving this ruby to the galaxy sword increases its damage. You can also enchant your tools to give them different effects. Each tool has its own unique enchantments, such as being able to swing it faster, the watering can become bottomless, and the axe can chop more wood. If you want, you can also combine rings so that they only take up one ring slot. A bit into developing the island, you will unlock an entirely new farm. Here, every crop will grow in every season, and you can also go to sleep here, so you don't have to go all the way back to Stardew Valley if you want to go to sleep. When you eventually unlock the beach resort, several characters will come here every day just to chill and hang out. This can be a cool way to see them all in a new situation, and characters have new sprites in accordance to this, but if it annoys you, you can turn it off by interacting with this little placard here. On the west side of Ginger Island, you will find a walnut door. This needs 100 walnuts to be opened, and what's on the inside is the end game of the game. You'll find some of the toughest challenges you can come across in here, as well as some of the most overpowered items you'll ever have. And finally, there is now an end to the game. There's a perfection tracker within that walnut room that tells you everything you need to do to unlock that ending. I'll leave it pretty vague for now, but just know that it is behind that door. And that is pretty much all I'd like to talk about. I left out some of the more specific details like new hats or furniture, so hopefully you'll still have things to discover for yourself. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one, and good night.